Ever thought you'd hear a secret that changes everything? At 54, Bad is about to drop a bombshell you never saw coming. Welcome, everyone! In today's video, we dive into a truly unexpected moment. At 54, Bad reveals a secret that's been hidden for years. A bombshell that's shaking things up. Whether you're a longtime fan or just curious, get ready to hear the truth that no one expected. Let's jump in and find out what this surprising revelation is all about. In the quiet, windswept village of Canning, Nova Scotia, where the population barely nudges 2,500, a spark ignited that would set the automotive world ablaze. This is the story of Chad Hiltz, known to the world as Bad Chad, and Jolene McIntyre, his partner in love and ambition, whose shared dreams transformed a small garage into a global phenomenon. Before we dive into this bombshell, let's rewind and go back to where it all started. Doug and Patricia Hiltz, immigrants from Australia, welcomed Chad into the world on August 31st, 1971 in Kingsport, Nova Scotia. Challenges were nothing new to Chad as a child. He had to drop out of school and enter the workforce after becoming a father to his son, Colton, at the age of 16. Dreams seemed like luxuries he couldn't afford because of his limited financial resources. However, Chad possessed something that money couldn't purchase, an inventiveness that saw possibilities where others saw garbage. He was fascinated by the magic of metal and machinery and would tinker in his father's garage as a boy. Chad saw old appliances, scrap metal, and even abandoned household items as raw materials for creation rather than trash. He learned how to build and modify cars on his own without any official training, using whatever he could find. His mind became a canvas for wild ideas, and his hands, grizzled and soiled with oil, became his tools of trade. As evidence of his defiance of convention, Chad was in his 20s and operating Green Goblin Customs, a small shop named after a car he had built. A 1962 Chrysler with the engine in the back, the trunk in the middle, and no doors. However, life wasn't simple. Financial difficulties and broken relationships characterized Chad's early years. In rural Nova Scotia, custom car building wasn't exactly a gold mine, and despite his inventive designs, they frequently went unnoticed outside of local car shows. He poured his heart into machines that few valued, a visionary stuck in obscurity, until a fortuitous meeting altered everything. When Jolene McIntyre entered Chad's life in 2016, things started to move in a different direction. Jolene was born in Centerville, Nova Scotia in 1989. She was intelligent, ambitious, and not scared to get her hands dirty. She had recently earned a Bachelor of Commerce in Finance from St. Mary's University, where she had previously played soccer for the SMU Huskies. Her job at the time, which paid the bills but didn't inspire her, was at a tavern in New Minas. Jolene wasn't instantly attracted. She was drawn to Chad's gritty personality and unwavering love of cars. But it was his artwork, more especially the Green Goblin, a car so daring it demanded attention, that captured her interest. Conversely, Jolene's beauty and self-assurance enthralled Chad. He was as determined to get her as he was to get his builds, and after months of perseverance, they started dating. A spark quickly turned into a flame. Beyond Chad's oil-stained coveralls, Jolene noticed something about him. She saw a genius whose talent deserved a larger stage, a Leonardo da Vinci of cars, as she would later refer to him. Although Chad's store, Green Goblin Customs, was a creative goldmine, it lacked focus. Clients were few and bills were piling up. Jolene stepped in with her business sense and drive for achievement. She became Chad's manager, partner, and biggest supporter, in addition to being his girlfriend. The arrival of Jolene was a breakthrough. Equipped with her degree and a clear vision, she reorganized the company and changed its name to Hiltz Auto Company to reflect her larger goals. She understood that Chad's creations, such as the Bat Out of Hell, a customized 1957 Cadillac, or the Shadilac, a car with kitchen cabinet knobs and a dorsal fin, were more than just cars. They were works of art. However, unless the world sees it, art does not cover the rent. Jolene started promoting his work on social media, a platform Chad hardly understood. Letting the world see the process rather than just the final product was her straightforward but brilliant strategy. Jolene demanded that it be filmed when Chad began constructing a recreation of Ralph Lauren's $40 million Bugatti for her. A labor of love that combined scrap metal and sheer boldness. She captured every cut, every weld, and every moment of Chad's insane genius on camera, using only an iPhone, and shared them on Facebook. It was an electrifying response. The number of views increased to thousands, then to millions. Not only were people witnessing the building of cars, but they were also taking in a tale of ingenuity, adversity, and love. By 2017, Chad and Jolene were engaged. Their relationship solidified by a common goal rather than just a ring. Following Discovery Channel's interest in Jolene's videos, the couple ended up pitching to executives in a boardroom in Los Angeles in 2018, a far way from Canning. The producers were impressed by their genuineness, Jolene's smart realism, and Chad's pure passion. The creation of Bad Chad Customs is scheduled to debut on January 1st, 2019. The show was unexpected. Chad and his crew, Jolene, his son Colton, lifelong friend Aaron, and mechanic Alex, were followed by Bad Chad Customs as they transformed unthinkable materials into cars that won awards. Every episode was a high-stakes drama with strict budgets, deadlines, and everyone being pushed to their limits by Chad's unwavering vision. The Canning Kid, a 1934 Ford bubble top, and Cruella de Vil, a 1939 Chevy, were among the vehicles that viewers witnessed being brought to life from parts that others would have discarded. The core of the operation was Jolene. She ran the shop, handled logistics, and did the math while Chad dreamed of metal. Her true magic was turning Chad's chaos into money, but she wasn't scared to use a wrench or sand a fender. She made sure every build stayed on schedule, coordinated with producers, and bargained with clients. She transformed Hiltz Auto Co. into a brand off-camera by handling the merchandise, which included hats, stickers, and t-shirts. With millions of viewers worldwide, the first season was a huge success. Viewers identified with Chad as a working-class hero, and his motto, "It's my dream, and I'll make it as big as I want to," resonated with them. In addition to being Bad Chad's fiancée, Jolene also gained popularity as a strong woman in her own right. She referred to the golden rule as her compass, which dictates that she should treat people the way she wants to be treated. This principle informed her business choices and won her respect. The second season, which aired in 2020, explored their lives in greater detail. In a project that represented their collaboration, viewers watched Chad construct a Bugatti-inspired vehicle for Jolene. Although the pandemic and filming delays postponed their wedding, they still intended to use it as their wedding car. Colton's development as an apprentice, learning his father's trade while negotiating their complicated relationship, was also highlighted in the show. Having Colton in the shop gave Chad the opportunity to mend the damage caused by time, which was a subplot that gave the horsepower more emotion. There was struggle before success. A planned third season was put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic, forcing Chad and Jolene to change course. They gravitated toward YouTube, where Jolene's talent for unpolished, unadulterated content was evident. With only a phone and a microphone, she created hour-long videos every day. With 330,000 subscribers and 5.1 million views for videos like arriving to prom in the custom 1939 Studebaker Commander, the channel took off. Their daily Facebook reach of 2 million rivaled the viewership of the TV show. Their lives also included travel. They appeared at car shows in Australia, Finland, and Toronto's Motorama, where Jolene sold merchandise and Chad performed a live roof cut. They spent time with Storage Wars' Barry Weiss in California, and his appearance as a guest helped their channel. But they were put to the test by fame. Chad acknowledged that occasionally, his dreams gave him butterflies in his stomach. Always the rock, Jolene kept him in check by reminding him why they had begun. They were financially successful. By 2025, their estimated net worth will be $3 million. A new 60 by 100-foot shop was added by Hiltz Auto Co. to accommodate projects like a 1959 Volvo 544 and a 1960 Pontiac Straight-O Chief. Jolene proved to be just as creative as Chad when her idea of several revenue streams, merch, media, and perhaps even a themed diner came to fruition. This is fundamentally a love story. Jolene and Chad work in unison like a well-tuned engine. She is the strategist, converting dreams into money, while he is the dreamer, transforming chicken coops into Bugattis. Unhurried by wedding bells, their engagement, which was announced in 2017, is still a promise. Although fans speculation, Jolene has stated that they are content to establish their empire first and are waiting for the right time. Together, they are childless, but their legacy lives on in the cars they have built and the community they have sparked. Chad's resilience was shaped by his past, including his hardships as a young father and his years of laboring in obscurity. Jolene's experience in boardrooms, garages, and soccer fields has shaped her adaptability. Together, they have encountered doubters who questioned whether a small-town couple could successfully compete with large city retailers. But they haven't just competed, they have redefined what is feasible, demonstrating that heart and imagination can surpass any budget.